Okay, we're going to talk about the material definitions within Vizrt T5, and material definitions represent the new materials for the Viz Engine Render Pipeline. So that means we are in our render mode Viz Engine Renderer. So material definitions can be either PBR based materials, Fung, shaded materials, reflections, or material definitions created by other plugins in external 3D programs. So as you can see, I have within my MD, within a project folder, I have an icon here, and you can see it's labeled PBR. And this material definition is made up of PBR materials. And the way that it works is that I can drag an object to the scene tree, and I have a scene set up here within the Vizrt T5 render pipeline here. So I have a 3D environment, and I drag a cube in here, and now I can just take this PBR material or this material definition and drag it onto my cube. I'm going to come into my settings here and just reposition this cube here and just rotate it a bit so that we can see it a little bit better and what's going on. I'm going to turn on my light here within the 3D environment and just rotate that a little bit as well. So you can see that we have a 3D object here within a lighted environment. So this material definition was already saved within our database, and you can reuse them. To set it up from scratch, what we're going to do is go ahead and delete that, and we can just drag that to the trash can, and now we just have a 3D cube here. So what we need to do is go into our plugins, we'll go into our container plugins, and we're going to look for the PBR material, and we're going to drag that onto our cube container. We're going to click on the PBR material icon, and it takes us into the editor. Now we need to have some PBR materials. We have previously imported them, so I'm going to go into my folder where I have those stored. And within this PBR folder, I have several options of textures. There's bricks, there's some metal, porcelain. So we're going to use this one called chips. And I have within my folder, or my image tab, several different images. And these images are going to correspond with these boxes over here within the PBR material settings. I want to drag these up into the corresponding boxes. And you can see once I do that, this cube starts to take its texture. So that was the first image, the color map. And now we have some other options here too. We have a displacement map, which we can put into the corresponding box. We have a metallic image. We have a normal map, which we can drag into the corresponding box. And we also have a roughness, which we can drag in there too. Now there's a whole other tutorial on how to do PBR materials. This is just a brief introduction. But if we wanted to come into each one of these, we could make adjustments to each image under here. We have their own specific parameters that we could adjust. Once you have them adjusted, all we would need to do to save this, to reuse it for future projects, is to select our MD tab down here, select which folder you want it to go here within your asset view, and we can just take this and slide it down into that MD window, and it asks you for a name. So we can just give it any name we want, and we can hit OK. And now that material definition is ready to use again for our next scene.